Hello and welcome back to my channel. Bonsoir et re-bienvenue sur ma chaîne. My name is Muriel and in this video I will be doing the Unpopular Opinions book tag. Yes, it's been a while since I've done an easy to make tag video and I kind of need something like that right now. So I thought I'd do the Unpopular Opinions one again, an updated version, more than 2 years after I first did it for this channel. I'll probably mention my original 2019 answers, but then move on quickly enough to original answers informed by the many additional books I've read since then. So without further ado, question number 1, a popular book or series that you do not like. In the past, I believe I mentioned the Broken Earth trilogy written by N.K. Jemisin and Circe by Madeline Miller, but to be completely fair, it's more that I didn't agree, and still don't agree, with the hype both of those works have gotten and still get. Then I outright dislike them. Well, in the case of the Broken Earth, I definitely didn't like the trilogy as a whole by the end, but still enjoyed book 1 well enough. To those two older entries, I can also add The Power, written by Naomi Alderman, which I have a rant review, an older rant review, if you want to check that out, and which, well, I strongly disliked. When it comes to more recent reads, I will mention 1, Piranesi, written by Susanna Clarke, which I found incredibly, but not offensively so, underwhelming beyond its neat enough world-building premise. 2, Vita Nostra, written by Marina and Sergei Dyachenko, which I actively disliked because I found it pretentious, absurd in a meaningless way, and pretty empty when it came to character work and world building. 3, and yes, I realize I'm giving more than enough answers, but that's just how I roll. 3, Skyward Inn, written by Aaliyah Whiteley, which was an anticipated release of mine, but turned out to be a big fat flop. It was just too weird in the wrong way, the world building too full of holes, and featured ideas such as hive minds I just don't vibe with. And finally, the worst of the worst, the Poppy War trilogy, written by R.F. Kuang. The main character was a hateful, nonsensically so sociopathic little bitch. The world building and theming were disappointingly light, and it was just too YA for me overall. I have a rant series review dating back to December if you want to check it out. Question number 2, a book or series that many people don't like, but you like or love. In the past, I probably mentioned The Mist of Avalon, written by Marion Zimmer Bradley, which I believe a lot of people say they don't like, not because they think the novel itself is garbage, but because of its, yes, admittedly monstrous author. To that older pick, and on the same grounds, honestly, I'd add H.P. Lovecraft's fiction, which a lot of people do in fact like, but it's very popular nowadays to hate on Lovecraft, even though he's been dead for about a century now, and there have been many, and still are many, other authors with worse records in the realm of social justice, or injustice I guess, related opinions and behaviors. That's just another discussion for another day. For more recent picks, I will go with The Books of Dust, The Secret Commonwealth especially, written by Philip Pullman, and The Magicians, written by Lev Grossman. Now, I think the former, so that would be La Belle Sauvage and The Secret Commonwealth, are enjoyed well enough, but I've noticed that a lot of readers just don't think they hold up to the original His Dark materials, whereas I loved The Secret Commonwealth and consider it my favorite entry in the wider story so far. Then The Magicians gets pretty mixed reviews from what I could see. It is loved by many, true, but it is also not liked at all by many others because a lot of people can't stomach Quentin Coldwater as a main character. But I love that novel and found it very emotionally impactful. Question number 3, a love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you didn't want them to end up with, or an OTP, i.e. couple, that you do not like. So it's no secret I don't generally do romance in my fiction, especially not now. So I had to thoroughly scratch my head for this one. The last love triangle I encountered was, I think, the one present in The Well of Ascension, part of the Mistborn trilogy, written by, of course, Brandon Sanderson, and I duly hated it. As to couples, I wasn't a fan of the couple in The Day of the Triffids, written by John Wyndham, because it felt very insta-lovey and plot convenient to me, nor did I particularly like the couple that forms in The Terror, written by Dan Simmons. I really enjoyed the novel, but I didn't like the couple because it just felt a little off to me, but I can't say more than that without spoiling, unfortunately. Question number 4. A popular genre that you hardly reach for. This hasn't really changed since last time, so it's basically romance and thrillers, simple as that, and basically all of YA. Even though it's technically an age range and not a genre, but I thought I would remind you all of that. I just don't do YA literature. Question number 5. A popular or beloved character that you don't like. I think my old answers were A Song of Ice and Fire related, Jon Snow and Stannis Baratheon. Yes, I swear, Stannis stands are a thing in the fandom. Beats me. But now I can also mention Rin from the Poppy War trilogy. That there are readers who think she's awesome and badass, and readers who think Quentin Coldwater from The Magicians is an actual sociopath instead of just an asshole, just, I don't know, makes me think people don't know what the word sociopath or sociopathic is, at the very least. Question number 6. An author you can't seem to get into. So first, George Orwell. I've read 3 books written by him now, and none of them really worked for me. And then Brandon Sanderson. I was underwhelmed by Mistborn, though not outrageously disappointed because I went in with extremely low expectations. Good on me there. But I picked him because I've also just made a conscious decision not to read his books for personal reasons. I know it's weird, but I am weird. It might seem childish, I know, but that's just the way it is. My ex-partner David didn't like Brandon Sanderson for several reasons, and even though I actually listened to Sanderson's lectures about writing and found him quite sympathetic when I did, the way he recently, and by recently I mean a couple of months ago, revealed his surprise novels on YouTube, which also coincided with my traumatic breakup, and the way Brandon Sanderson took Kickstarter by storm when he really didn't need to, like, he's the kind of author who doesn't need that kind of platforming. He's a best-selling fantasy author anyway. I don't know, it actually left a very sour note in my mouth, and I found it a bit gross, quite frankly. He has the right to do that, I'm not disputing that. We live in a repulsively capitalistic society, good on him I suppose, but there are lots of struggling authors who have way less followers. He's like one of the best-selling fantasy authors working currently, and he made 33 million on Kickstarter. I don't know, just, I thought it was a bit gross. Sue me. So yeah, it might be rational, I know, but I wasn't particularly interested in his fiction anyways after Mistborn, so the weird negative associations I have with him now mean I've written Branderson off as an author, and I'm fine with it. Question number 7. A popular book trope you're tired of seeing. Insta-love, most definitely, and positively portrayed hive minds. Yes, I know, the latter isn't technically a trope, it's more of a science fiction idea, I suppose, but I don't like it and wanted to mention it. So there. Question number 8. A popular book or series you have no interest whatsoever in reading. Standalone-wise, I don't really know. The field of possibilities is just way too vast for me, so I'm going to stick to series for this one. In the realm of fantasy, there is the Stormlight Archive, to what I said about Brandon Sanderson. The Wheel of Time, it's just too bloody long. There'll be things in there that'll annoy the crap out of me, I just can't be bothered. 3. The Dresden Files. I have nothing against urban fantasy, I've enjoyed urban fantasy, but I don't know, it's just, I've gone through the series of Supernatural, I feel it's like the same general idea, but it's different, I know, so I don't know, I'm just not interested. The Greenbone Saga, I have zero interest in an urban fantasy crime syndicate story. Nothing is bad at all, but zero interest. In the realm of science fiction, there's the Murderbot Diaries. I don't know, it's super popular, but I have just zero interest in following a gender-neutral, depressed robot who's a contract killer or something. I don't know, it's just, I'm not that big into robots, I guess, I don't know. And there is the Expanse series. It's, again, too long, and I can always watch the TV show, which I've heard is actually very good. Of course, there is also the rest of the Foundation series. I read the first book, not interested in following with the rest of the series. Question number 9, and the final one of this tag. The saying goes that the book is always better than the movie. But what movie or TV show adaptation is better than the book? Well, same as last time, I'm going to go with primarily The Lord of the Rings. And this time add the first season of a Foundation TV show. Though, to be clear, I didn't think it was fantastic. Not by any means, unlike the Peter Jackson movies, which are masterpieces, just that it was slightly better than its source material, in my opinion. So that was the Unpopular Opinions Book Tag 2022 edition. I hope it provided you with a few minutes of, I don't know, entertainment, distraction. I hope you'll have a lovely day, evening, or whichever time of day you prefer. Do take good care of yourselves, and I shall see you all in another video. Bye bye.